Hi, I want to talk about introversion and also about trauma and why the two might go together. And after you've listened to my story, you might understand how I've connected these two. I learned at an early age not to trust adults or anybody for that matter because they'd hurt me. Not only that, when they did, I couldn't say anything. I was supposed to be silent. This message later on in life really stood in front of me achieving. Sure, I could go to school and act like a cheerleader, a class leader, or someone that was Miss Merry Christmas at one time. But was that really me? Was that who I wanted to be? It's who I thought I should be. It wasn't who I was told I was. But who was I? I look back now and see that young woman that she really wanted to just be accepted. She just wanted to fit in. And because I didn't feel I was or could be, I was in a shell. It's a shell that, as life has gone on, has become thicker. It saved me from a lot of heartache, as I always had a place to go, a safe haven. Sometimes it's a room, sometimes it's a spot in a garden, sometimes it's in my car with music playing, but I know I'm safe. But is that necessary? Does that really give you all that you want out of life? That's a question. My answer to that is I told myself a lot of lies. I prevented myself from excelling in school because I was told at home, you're not supposed to do that. You won't be going to college by any means. You're going to be a secretary and get married and have 2 kids, or 3 or 4 at that time. I listened. So when it came to classes, I just didn't put much into it. I still got B pluses, but had I put myself into it, I could have earned scholarships. Later on in life, I made some really poor choices. I left a marriage because I thought I needed to be something more than that wife. I always believed I had more potential, but what was that? The airline seemed like a logical place to go. You could be somebody with a uniform on, walking down the terminal, and come home, close the door, and be yourself. You didn't have to be that flight attendant all the time. You had the ability to shut it off and be safe. But during that time, I've had a lot of trauma happen, both in and out of the airlines in my life, at home with physical abuse, emotional abuse. I've had injuries. I've ended up having surgeries to mend almost a broken neck. I lost myself. I gave it up. I always had that safe place to go, though. But it was the lies, mostly the lies that I bought into. You know, life is hard, they say. But being an introvert with trauma is even harder. It's limiting. What are you going to do? How long are you going to wait? It's too late when you're not here anymore. You have time, and you do have the opportunity now to find a way to be the person you always wanted to be and knew you were. I started coaching to help people. It wasn't really accepted at that time because I didn't really care about the business marketing schemes that they come up with, all of the gimmicks that you can throw at people. I steered clear of that because my main goal is to help you. Can you do that with a self-help book? Possibly, but very rare. I've read a few. Can you do that through therapy? Again, some, not all, and it can take a whole lifetime of therapy just to kind of move forward. What does coaching do? It grabs you right where you are and tells you you're okay the way you are. What are you going to do next? Where do you want to go? Who are you? Give yourself that space. Give yourself that time. Allow yourself to be who you are. I won't guarantee that you'll change from an introvert to an extrovert by any means, nor do I want you to. But I do want you to look inside to see what potential you really missed out on, who you could be and who you will be is possible. And it's so refreshing to know that you are loved by all, especially yourself. And that's the first place to start. I'm offering at this point in time a Zoom session, one-on-one, to get to know you. No strings attached. It's an opportunity to really touch into that potential and make a game plan for change. You won't find that in a book or in a YouTube because this is customized. As an introvert, I'm very empathetic. I'm an INFJ. If you don't know your personality type, I strongly tell you to look at the Briggs-Myers personality test and find out your code. It gives you so much insight into your behavior and what makes you tick. I look forward to really knowing more about you and sharing a way for you to start listening to yourself and honoring who you always could be.